Hello and welcome, everybody. This is BAMS 9. This is your weekly debrief. We've got week 12 in the books, looking ahead to week 13. Only 2 more weeks of the regular season. Only a couple teams that are completely out of it. Some hopeful saps like me in 8th place still trying to cling on to what was a very hopeful season that's gotten sad recently. Trying to find my way into the back door of this playoff season that comes in 2 weeks. Kamish, you are in 2nd place, sitting pretty. How you doing?
I'm good. It says it develops in a bottle up to 5 years. Don't have time for that. Come on, we're great. It's Friday afternoon. Crack a beer, and you know what else is a great indication that things are great? Ooh, did you get that?
The glug glug was solid.
Nice. It's gonna be good. Okay, you know what else is great is that we got so excited last year when we had double win podcasts after we both won. And it's just, we're used to it this year. So congratulations on the W. Big wins, end of the season. I'm pushing for a bye. You're pushing for a playoff spot. Gotta love it. And honestly, I know I've dialed it back before in podcasts, vlogcasts, vlogs, blogs, and about how, talked about the wedding and talked about, not losing since then. But how come no one told me how great marriage is? I have not lost a fantasy football matchup since I got married. Holy hell.
What a gift.
What a gift. My goodness. And I'm just going to enjoy that wave while it's going. That's all I got here for an opener. Things are great. It was a fun week. Obviously, we both won. We can get into that. If nothing else, want to start up with the matchups?
Yeah, and I'll quickly hit on like the standings right now.
Yeah.
The gangbangs atop the leaderboard at 9-3. Got a bunch of people at 8-4, including yourself. 7-5, Fiona and Shasky, and then the nasty rat's nest at the bottom here of Derek's rad team. Bad name, change it. Myself. Diesel guys I just went up against last week. We'll touch on that, but that seemed to be a pivotal closing the door for the Diesel guys. Then after that, Marianne's Hammock Scrolls, Hotspurs, no major changes there. I think they are at 0% chance of playoffs. So that's where we sit in the standings, and we'll hit into the matchups here.
Yeah, I love I'll let you go. While I say this, look at a matchup you want to start with, but I love how the standings are shaking out because we have, like you said, 9 through 12 is, I don't know about mathematically out of it, but close to mathematically out. Then you and Derek's team are like the disruptors right now, trying to get in. And honestly, 1 through 6, I think can all get a bye at this point. Maybe not, but a lot of people can still vie for that bye. I mean, you got Fiona at 5. And they have the most points in the league. So yeah, they very well could jump up with a couple things moving against them or moving for them, and a couple matchups that we'll talk about later on this coming week can make that happen. So let's get into it. Week 12 is what we are recapping. 2 weeks left in the regular season. What do you got for us?
So you just mentioned of like, I think we're going to call this win out season. It's time to win out. I need to win out. I needed to win out last week. Getting a win was friggin' huge. Need to win this week. Need to win next week. Teams that are in that top 6, like you said, pretty much everybody. You can win out. You get yourself a bye in that group. So on that note, I'll go to what was a pivotal matchup here. This is the Gang Bang and the Fiona. This was the headliner of the week because Fiona, who is putting up nasty points each week. I think they got some $50 bills pretty recently. Gangbang 9-3, 1st place. Fiona drops down to 5th place with this defeat at the hands of the Gangbang. Very tight matchup. 2 super high scorers here with Gangbang at 130, Fiona at 127. I got to check the matchups. Who got the $50 bill this week?
It was the baloney squeezes, and we'll get into that.
Oh, yeah. All right. So in this matchup here, it is just the devastation of Josh Jacobs putting up 46. There was some live texting going on at this time. That was, I mean, Jacobs is already having an amazing game, and then this thing goes into OT, and Fiana's just like, please make the bleeding stop. And Jacobs then busts out like a 75-yard touchdown run in OT for the victory to rack up 229 rush yards, 2 rush TDs, 6 receptions, just unreal. 46 points for Jacobs, and that was the difference maker here. Otherwise, the gangbang was pretty stable across the board. Nick Chubb did some things, but what even hurt more too is that I think Philly played Monday night. Yes, Philly played Monday night, and nothing worse than false hope, where Miles Sanders was going off. Miles Sanders puts up 30 on Monday night. You think there's a glimmer of hope that you can
What a tease.
Yeah, you think you can overcome the Jacobs running back blow up with your own blow up of Miles Sanders. Doesn't happen. Not enough with 30 points. Certainly tried his best there. So a lot of drama in this one. Big time implications down the stretch. 2 teams that are very worthy of championship odds here. Gangbang takes this one.
Couple points on that. Fun facts about the whole Jacob situation. I guess he was questionable going into the game, and
Cap.
It wasn't uncommon that people were like scrambling trying to find a replacement for him, because fearing it was one of those situations where he'd be active but wouldn't play. And my goodness, did he show up?
What is, I mean, psychologically, you see the Q show up for Josh Jacobs, a top 5 running back in the league. You're going into that matchup being like, okay, here's maybe a 15, 20 point scorer who's going to be off the board. JK 46 in your face. Brutal.
There is so much psychological hilarity in fantasy football, whether it's notifications or icons that pop up or anything, that there needs to be some segments in the future about that. The other point I wanted to make is they didn't want to play him in overtime. They didn't want to run him, and he like forced himself out there and then made that long field run. Okay, back to fantasy on that same matchup. New segment alert, golf clap. T Gangbang, golf clap. First to clinch playoff spot.
Oh, way to go, Gangbang.
First team in. We got the asterisk. Second point I wanted to make is with Fiana, a small victory. We are a positivity podcast, vlogcast, and they increased their most points lead from 47 to 59. So while they fell to 5th place, they not secured it, but they made it a little stronger. That I think it's $150 that they'd win after next week if they can maintain that. So
like that.
That's huge. Yeah. $150 for that is big. Okay. My next, I'm going to go because I talked about it. Baloney squeezes. Just talk about fantasy football and that it's poetry. Just baloney squeezes. For the last month, we've just been riding them and how bad their team is. I mean, I don't know. Joe Mixon was out. I don't know what else you got. Kyler Murray showed up finally. I don't know if that's going to persist, but they also got Deshaun Watson. So we'll see how that goes. I'm really interested to see how that happens this weekend. But yeah.
Bonus segment, passive aggressively shaming the Deshaun Watson owner. Mm-hmm. Pete, great guy. Like really like that guy. You know,
I don't have a bad thing to say about Pete.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that the pickup of Deshaun Watson is in any way a reflection of him. I'm just saying like, wow.
No. I get, I get it's fantasy football. I get there's money involved, and yeah. All right. But they rolled over Groles. Obviously, Groles sold his soul this season for next year. 135 points though, and you get the $50 bill, and that's the 9th person guaranteed money. I don't know if that's a BAMS record. If anything, it tied it. I don't think we've had 10. Maybe we have, but 9 people getting paid already. That's great.
That's sweet.
Love it. Spread it out. Also counting my blessings, because last week I think I won, or whenever I last won the $50 bill, I had like 124 points, and I think 3 teams beat that just this week. So it's all timing. it's all timing. You never know with fantasy football. But let's get into the matchup. They beat them. They killed Groles. I guess I've been in it already. James Conner's back, scoring touchdowns for. Gosh, having Kyler Murray and James Conner on your team with the negative vibes that the team carries. I mean, you got the win. Taylor's back. Elliott's back. And I didn't even realize he had Jonathan Taylor on his team. He traded for him. So,
yeah.
Again, fantasy football.
That was crafty.
The swings in fantasy football, as negative as we were about his team, he's in a good position going into the playoffs. And he's in 4th place. Yeah, he's fine. He might have no points on the year, but he's in 4th place. So he's going to do some damage, in my opinion.
And looking ahead this week, the squeezes play the gangbang. So that's a pretty big one. I think one thing I wanted to touch on was just that the squeezes, they had Dak Prescott, lost him. I think Diesel guys picked him up, but just the amount of Cowboys on this team, that they once did have Dak Prescott, Dalton Schultz, Zeke Elliott, Dallas Cowboys defense.
Yeah.
I went between it. Are they the Dallas Squeezes or the Balonee Cowboys? They're the Balonee Cowboys. I think that rebranding is going to launch them to higher heights. In 4th place right now, taking a shot at the gangbang in the first place. This week can really make a big difference for the Balonee Cowboys.
100% correct. I have 2 key matchups for this upcoming week. And it's almost as exciting as the actual NFL games that we're going to be able to watch this weekend. But T Gangbang v Balonee Cowboys is my cool throwing matchup of the week. Both teams are hot. Both teams are on fire. You got the T Gangbang protecting that number 1 spot. Balonee Cowboys protecting the playoffs. They're 4th right now, did I say? Yeah. Both on fire too. So, something's got to give. Am I right? Unmovable force and immovable objects.
Yep.
All right. Next matchup. What you got? No, that was me. Yeah. What you got?
I didn't pick one. Let's do. Yeah. We'll go real quick on this one.
Yeah.
King of T Hill.
Okay.
Beats the Hotspurs.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot to say here. King of T Hill, I think they did make a trade they got Hurts, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Huge.
That was big. That might not a difference maker here. It was a 40-point victory. That's what's going to happen when you play the Hotspurs. But King of T Hill, at this juncture in the season, they need wins. They're playing against me this week. That's kind of do or die. So not a bad time to have the Hotspurs on your schedule there to get a dub.
Yeah, you gotta love that. And Fiona has Hotspurs this week. I was looking at the matchup, so good for them. Congratulations. As far as the upcoming matchups go that I talked about, I had 2 that I was targeting. I had that cool throne matchup that we had already spoken about, but the other one was Hardo versus King of T Hill, because I mean, you don't need me to explain it. You got the disruptor and Hardo yourself, and you got King of T Hill. It's going to be big. They're trying to get a bye. You're trying to get in the playoffs. So another, circle it on the calendar type situation. Game of the week. Okay, Deshaun Watson. You got to. I mean, some kind of leeway yet or not yet? Like, I don't know. I feel like we should give him a couple of years, and then we can start softening up to him. But he picked him already. So next matchup that I have is Derek's red team versus Shasky. And hopefully I don't have to get that door that you may hear. So Derek's red team. First of all, change it. But second of all, smoke Shasky. Shasky, it needs a smoke. Speaking of smoke. Let's see what we got. 127, 102. Anything in the 120s, 130s, you gotta love. And they're again another disruptor. Jefferson's Godwin finally showed up big time. Kelsey actually had a down game. Just couple of 2, 3, 4 big games. Garrett Wilson, the Jets, they're gonna be on a heater if he keeps catching from Mike White. And Olave Evans under 10 points, Higbee 0, Goose, Mahomes was fine, but Shasky just had a down day. Overall, nothing special. So that was that. It wasn't super exciting. Shake is in 6th place, so he better not do that again. And my last point on that is that Derek, speaking of victories and small victories, increased his lead of the unlucky by a few points, but increasing those leads when you only have 2 weeks left is huge. So closer than Fiona has for the most points, but still 32 points going into a couple weeks to secure. I think it's $25, but
am I still number 2 in that?
I can tell you in 2 seconds.
All right.
No, I lied. It's more than 2 seconds. You are 2. Yeah, you're 32 points behind him.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's you.
All right. We're going to switch to, typically we are very generous towards one another. I will take your matchup here. This is you over Marianne's Hammocks. This was an 11-point victory.
Sweat.
Yeah, a little bit of a sweat for this one. For you, it's just your wide receiver core is carrying you, but you picked them. So congrats on having an awesome receiving core. I'm on Ross A. Brown. Stephon Diggs, T. Higgins is just murderers row 3, top 15 for sure, maybe top 12.
Don't forget my bench of Delvin Metcalf.
Oh yeah, the late trade depth piece. Yeah, 17 on your bench. But this is like, there have been some, you've been cruising so much that there have been some pieces here that could get your blood pumping a little bit. Come on in.
Come on in. You need me?
Yeah.
Wow.
They're going through codes and stuff. They need you to set something up.
You can't do it?
I just don't really know.
I'm a pro, Ben. I can handle the next 3 minutes.
All right. Handle it. All right.
Hi, Sam.
Hello. Come on.
All right. Pros are pros. So right now we're going to run through the Marianne Hammock versus Kamish breakdown. Kamish wins by 11. It's all because of his receivers. And I was just going to say, he's sweating some things right now because Justin Fields was cool until you get that shoulder sprain. And then you're thinking, are the Bears thinking about their future? The Bears have proved that Fields is their guy. He's injured. Why would they want to get him further injured? Probably gets back into the rotation. But for a team that's trying to lose and get a high draft pick, maybe you don't want to be risking the health of your stud quarterback. That draws major concerns at the QB position as we go down the stretch and we hit playoff season in this fantasy league. And it shows with Zintac picking up Garoppolo, who got him 13 for the week. A little change of pace from the 35 to 40 that Fields has been consistently providing to this point. Then you got Travis Etienne. He messes up his foot early in that game, puts up 0.3 as his output for the week. I know he's coming back, but we've been waiting for that little baby boy to injure himself, and it happened.
So
he will be coming back. I'm talking about how there are just some concerns about the Fields injury down the stretch. Are they going to sit him? Are they going to try to tank for a pick? The ETN, it was only 1 week, but you finally get to see maybe there is some drawbacks to the amount of usage that they have on ETN, but he'll be back this week. No concerns there. Dameon Pierce averaging 1 yard per carry in the past 2 weeks. So those are some tough things that are happening for you. I think Pierce bounces back this week. I think they're playing Cleveland. Yeah. And that's a terrible run D. So should be fine. But for a team that felt invincible over the past few weeks, you get a little bit of that step back, like, okay, we got to recalibrate here.
I'm sure you touch on it, but very deep running room. Just they all sucked. And the one that you expected to suck, AJ Dillon, had a fine game.
Yeah.
Talk about,
you'll just never play him for the rest of the year. There's no chance.
Swift too is going to be tough, and I know he's off the injury report. You may have said that.
5-touch Swift.
Gosh, I think he had like 6 catches though. I don't know.
They're just he's just not ever gonna have double digits touches, and it's just excruciating.
Let's get out of
But-
here.
Okay, we'll get you out of there. So that was the recap of Hammocks versus Commissioner. All
Thanks,
to say,
Chris.
congrats, Commish. That's a win.
That is a win. A win's a win. Let's get back to it. 2 more weeks to win the $50. Moving on. We got these. We didn't do Diesel guys harder.
That's the last
I
one.
feel like you had something to say, so I'll just go on quick about it. Another kind of touchy game. My goodness, Josh Allen. I feel like he hasn't been a 31-point quarterback all year, so congrats on that. Allen Brown finally put up double digits. I know he's been struggling. Cooper's, I feel like, it's been consistent. Do you want to look at where he's at on the year while I'm talking? Amari Cooper.
Off
Or
of
do you know?
memory, I think he's like 15, 16. And I think if we're looking for rest of season rankings, he's like 9 or 10. He's nasty.
Yeah.
He's just, his road home splits are insane. His road games, he averages like 5 points a game, and then at home he's like 20 plus. He's just a freak. So he has been a really nice addition for a 5th round pick trade earlier this year.
And I get like celebrating success, and Deshaun Watson likes to go deep, and so that should make you happy as the Cooper owner. But what else?
I think fantasy experts are pretty psyched about the return of Pete's favorite player, Deshaun Watson, but I'm not as much psyched because I think it could be a thing of like Brissett and Cooper in rhythm, on the same page, clear cut, go-to guy. You don't know if that's going to just perfectly transition over to Watson. So there's an exciting component that it could be like, oh, this is going to launch him into the next phase. That's what fantasy experts think. I'm not as sure of that, but I'm hopeful.
I'm recycling this joke, but I laughed so goddamn hard at it. Do you think that if Deshaun Watson just breaks out for the last like 5-6 weeks, that Goodell will give him the comeback player of the year? Serious question.
So in this matchup, Josh Allen, the UCL sprain, this is an impromptu complaint corner. Okay.
I got one too, so this is good.
My season, okay? First week, Keenan Allen, dead. Elijah Mitchell, dead. At a pivotal point in this season, I scrounge, I trade. I put together a team that is primed for a run down the stretch. And really at that pivotal midpoint of the season where I need to make a run, it's Josh Allen UCL. He's no longer that 30-point a week guy. Got me 16 or 17 last night. Brutal. Then Mark Andrews, he has the shoulder that puts him out for a couple of weeks and takes a little bit of time for him to come back. Rashad Bateman, dead. I've had to work through so much stuff to just try to put together a decent team. I have it, and it's killing me. I need a win this week. I need a win next week. There's just no other way to look at it. I couldn't be prouder of all the moves I made to overcome this adversity. Trading away Darrell Henderson, Michael Carter. I've done these things. And it's just it doesn't matter. Mark Andrews drops one in the end zone last week. That's a one thing that I'm looking at with Diesel guys. I thought I was screwed because I was watching it with Diesel guys, and within, no joke, a 3-minute span, he has Treylon Burks. Derrick Henry takes a screen pass, 75 yards, fumbles it into the end zone. Treylon Burks recovers it for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Amari Cooper, 40 yards downfield, drops a pass that hits him in the chest. Mark Andrews, wide open in the end zone, back sets it into the stands right off of his hands in his face. That happened within 3 minutes. And then that's where I was really on tilt and like, fantasy football so stupid. I'm quitting. I hate this. I came back quickly, but it's just like, it's beating me down. It's testing my fortitude. Complaint corner segment for me, done.
A top 5 complaint corner of all time. Are we good on matchups?
Yes.
All right. We have about 10 minutes left, so that's why I kind of rushed it. And I also wanted to stay on the complaint corner because mine is related to the waiver wire, which I think we're going into. Unless you have something else, no. Quick complaint corner for me. Just trust your gut. Fantasy football. My Justin Fields aside, I have not had success with quarterbacks all year, and I pick up Trevor Lawrence. We talked about him in person when we were throwing routes last week. I went with him and I was like, feel confident. I wanted him earlier in the year. He's available. I'm going to play him in this week while Justin Fields is down. Switch to Garoppolo day of. He didn't have a horrible game, 13 points though. And everyone's talking about Trevor Lawrence and how that was his come out game last week. So
I think your quarterback, each first name has to be Justin for the rest of the year. So you lost Justin Fields to injury. You replaced him with Justin Lawrence, and then last second tossed in Justin Garoppolo.
Yes. I won, so I'm happy. But yeah, wish he was on my team because who knows if Justin Fields is going to play this week. But anyway, that's my complaint corner. It's just advice for everyone. Trust your gut.
Sorry.
And then
finishing the pour of the bottle to conclude a complaint corner is the best.
All right. Thanks.
Cool.
Enjoy my sorrows. All right, waiver wire. On the positive note, I picked up LaDainian Murray, and he had 10 plus points in a winning effort. Love it. I'm going to take credit for it.
I hate that team so much.
Which
They're
one?
The worst.
The Broncos?
The Broncos are so
that
bad.
was such a disgusting play to play him. And it wasn't even a good outing. He just was out there for a full game. And so he had 11 points of just running and catching, and he didn't score or anything. Fiana, going to give some props to 18 points. They picked up two defenses, and maybe this was like a long play, which kudos to them for forward looking. But they played Miami, who put up 18 points against the team that they played. And that made me think that I didn't do a defense deep dive yet this year. Usually I kind of go team by team and how their defenses relate to where they are in the standings. So look out, BAMS. It's coming. Smudgy P. Ryan, Balonee Cowboys. He didn't play him, or he didn't play Van Jones, who got 10 points. Two great pickups, didn't contribute to the win, but great pickups nonetheless. Depth place. And then Diesel guys. Didn't win against you, but they picked up Carolina, and I got to give props to a double-digit defense pickups. So that's what I had written down. I have officially crossed off everything on my list. Anything on the waiver wire this week that sticks out to you, or anything else you want to talk about? We have 8 minutes left.
Not a ton. Justin Lawrence is bouncing around. Groves picked him up. I think we will do a quick BAMalytics on King of T Hill. With him picking up Zonovan Bam Knight. This has to be a record. Oh, wait, no, I might be tying this record right now. But that will be his fourth Jets running back to grace his roster this year. With Breece Hall, I traded him, James Robinson and Michael Carter. And then this week he's picking up Bam Knight. And as I was saying this, I'm like, oh, I had Elijah Mitchell, Christian McCaffrey. I have Ty Davis Price on my team now, so I'm pretty addicted.
Jeff Wilson before he got traded.
I do not have Jeff Wilson. So I only had 3. So 4 running backs from one team cycling through your roster for the year is pretty. That's pretty.
Time out. 4. Yeah, record. It was a record. 4 is a record. Continue.
So there we go. We were going to do a trade show. I want to just make a comment that we're not going to do a trade show. We just don't have time for it. It would have been really a deep dive last week, but the trades have happened. The teams are the teams. We're talking final pushes. We're talking playoffs. So congrats to people that did well in their trades. Sorry to the people that did poorly, and we move on.
I think it was pretty evenly spread. If you look at the ADR ratings that I put together, analytics, bottom of the standings had a very low ADR. They're really well prepped for next year, and everyone at the top of the standings did not, because they are competing, rightfully so. That's how sports goes, and I think BAMS is in a good spot with the way it all shook out. So that's been trade talk. Who do you think's gonna die though this week?
I'll address this quickly. We'll get right into it.
Okay.
Let's start at the QB position. I
Yep.
did 0 prep. Going for an easy target here, but also a convenient one because I'm up against him this week, and I am very mad that Josh Allen did not do well last night. So I got it. I mean, this is that voodoo stuff that we need to be putting into
stuff.
to put into existence right now. Jalen Hurts, I think, going up against the Tennessee defense, which actually is not, they defy all odds every single year, where they're like not good metrically, but then they just like hold teams to like 17 points or under every single game. They just find ways. It's Vrabel. So I think they will be prepared for the running quarterback. They have fared well against running quarterbacks so far this year. Tennessee has. So let's go Jalen Hurts. I need it. I would love a first quarter rib.
A first quarter rib. Wow. I'm gonna head south in Philly. He's a MVP candidate. No?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
They got one loss.
Oh, I remember I bet a lot of money on that game.
Oh, good.
No, the game they lost, and I lost money.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. So goes life. Heading south, heading down to Atlanta. And I'm gonna go with Marcus Mariota. I want to see the rookie come in. Justin Ritter.
So do I.
Ritter.
Nope.
Justin Ritter. Wait, yeah, Ritter at least. Right? That's the rookie?
Desmond.
Yeah, no, but Justin, because
Oh yeah. I love that I corrected you on a rule I made.
I know.
What an idiot.
That's all right.
Way to go.
Now we're
That's
here.
classic me.
His beer's good. All right. I don't have a specific. It's got to be something mobile quarterbacks get.
Falcons have been a fun team to watch, a fun bad team to watch. I think that would make them more fun to bring him in because all the advanced metrics are like, it's like the off-target rate of Mariano's throws is it's like 30%. It's disgusting. It's like what was killing Kyle Pitts this year and Drake London this year. So he just doesn't throw accurate passes. So yeah, I'd love anything to shake that up over there.
I usually just go back and forth from the high ankle to the shoulder, and I think I'm at shoulder, so it's a shoulder. He's gonna scramble shoulder kind of deal. Just because I have Justin Fields in my head getting his shoulder hurt in Atlanta fresh in my mind. So that's the quarterback. From the running back, I'm gonna go first. Delvin Cook is not hurt yet this year.
Oh, he had his shoulder popped out of his socket in like week 4 and then just played week 5.
Okay.
He was like, I wear this brace for my shoulder, but I didn't wear it this game and my shoulder popped out. And they're like, how would you put the brace back on, bud?
That's what happened.
Yeah.
That's like the old pictures of the linemen with just like the mallets taped around their hands that they just use to just like backhand people. I don't know. Well, good, because I'm on high ankle sprain as far as my back and forth. So he's going to have a high ankle sprain this week. The Jets, that's who they have. Yeah, the Jets D is just going to swallow them up.
We'll go to running backs. I'll say on my own team, Isaiah Pacheco. This is just me being mad that I played Jacoby Myers last night. He, at the end of the game, had a touchdown pass in his hands, and then a Bills player headhunted and just took his head off, dropped the ball with 2 minutes left in the game that they were winning by 3 scores. So that was upsetting.
Isaiah Pacheco was in his lineup. You cut out. You there?
Okay.
Wait,
I'm back.
This is going to be good because I took over like a pro. So if this goes through,
there's no way that came through. We got 1 minute left, and you know what? Let's do a gift of no wide receiver choices this week. Say what you were going to say on the running backs, and then we're out of here. 1 minute.
I just
go.
had Dalvin Cook, so I'm done.
Oh, okay.
No wide receivers though. To it.
No wide receivers. Gents,
Ooh,
go.
if that's a closing, let me jump in. December 18th. Make it happen Sunday. We're gonna get together. We're not gonna do gifts. It's a lot of coordination. But we're gonna get together, drink beers, watch football. God damn it, he froze again.
I hear you. Keep
and
going.
That's all I got. Hopefully that transpires through, but hopefully he comes back in less than a minute. I'm gonna sit here in silence and drink my beer.
Great stuff. The audio came through December 18th. We will see you all there for all that can make it. We love you guys. See you next week.